So good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me here, Adonis. It's been a pleasure and honor. I'm Elias Stavropoulos. I work for IBM for the past 15 years. Today, I would like to present to you and perhaps have a discussion, if you would like as well, at the coffee break, and how generative AI can have an actual impact in maritime. Perhaps mention a few use cases during my speech, and also give you the perspective of IBM in this area. Starting with, this is a study that the IBM Institute of Business Value conducted last year. He actually surveyed a couple of thousand CEOs across the globe and across industries, maritime included. And as you can see, it's a general acceptance. Everybody understands that AI, and generative AI in particular, is here to stay, and is here to help enterprises get a competitive advantage. At the same time, however, there are people that state that generative AI is very impressive, while at the same time, it's scary. And let's see why generative AI surprises and impresses first with an example that from this very stage I presented to you last year. So one of the technologies that IBM announced and made generally available 1.5 years ago is actually digital assistants that understands natural language with the use of generative AI. And this way, it democratizes the new technology to employees. So imagine a solution that it's a chatbot-like, and imagine a use case that the HR recruiters in Maritime are using in order to recruit new talents. So just by typing the type of job that you would like to open and the skills, and maybe a couple of more information, the system is able to generate, for example, a new job description and publish it to social media, but also is able to understand what are the skills and talents that the new employees should have, and reaches out to multiple repositories in your organization as well as abroad. There are agencies out there that they offer this service. They have this big pool of resumes that you can leverage, goes through all of them, finds the top 10 candidates, for example, and then present them to the HR recruiter. And then it may be able also to send out the invitations for the candidates that the HR recruiter would like to interview. And once they are hired, perhaps send the welcome package and onboarding information. Amazing technology, something that is really making an impact on the productivity of all HR recruiters. And of course, this is not only about HR recruiting, it has many use cases that we can discuss in Maritime. However, let's see the other side. Let's see why people in the enterprises are scared to generative AI, what they're afraid of. And to do that, we need to understand what are the data and the technology behind large language models that are widely used in generative AI. So the data are coming from the internet. There are massive data sets that at some point of time, the organization or group of whatever company it is that is actually developing this large language model has collected in order to train the model. And that means that by the time this model is out and generally available for use, all this information may be out of date. It also means that because of the process that is being used to gather these data sets, it's not possible to verify and trace the source of the actual information that is being used. And there is also a third, let's say, issue with large language models in general. And it's the fact that they know everything, or at least they believe they do. And this is why they have a tendency to respond to any questions even if this is not correct. So even if they don't have the right level of confidence, they will respond. So this is general, what is causing hallucinations is what we call this issue. And because of these issues, we're here to actually let you know how we can tackle this, because they are known, so we have found solutions. And the solutions are based on the fact that you are not consumers. You are not somebody that would like to ask a few questions in a chatbot at your house. You are an enterprise. So what you are actually looking for are answers coming from your data. So this is number one. You need to start using your data with generative AI. So you have the information that you need, they're up to date, and you can also source and verify, you know the source, and you can verify and trace the truth of those. And with technologies such as semantic search and retrieval augmented generation, that could be the answer to the previous issues, we can cover all three issues, and also we can, let's say, instruct the large language models not to respond if they are not certain of the answer, but try to make another question, understand the context, and then try to find the proper answer for you. So in IBM, we have, let's say, a plan to board enterprises into generative AI. And we understand the risks and challenges that we can face in the organizations. We have been working with them for so many years now. So what we suggest is baby steps. In the panel previously, actually, one of the participants mentioned that you test, you go small, you test, and if you succeed, you proceed. And this is actually what we advise enterprises as well. So the first step could be, for example, an enterprise search solution. But again, somebody may say that, okay, enterprise search is nothing new. It has been with us for at least a couple of decades already. And this is correct. We had the capability to do syntactic search for so many years now and look into different document repositories and silos of information. However, we never had the opportunity to do semantic search, meaning that we can look for words or phrases, as the examples that I have here. Somebody can look, for example, for a day off, but in the information that are stored in our enterprise document repositories or a source of information could be a paid leave of absence, or could be whatever example you may have in mind about Maritime and your specific equipment that you are using on vessels. And imagine that, and not imagine, it is certain that on the vessel, all the crew members are very well trained, and they know exactly where to look for the information they need, and they know exactly what is the terminology that they need to look. But on shore, this may not be the case. You may not need to go through very expensive trainings for the onshore personnel in order to be able to help and assist and accommodate the requests that are coming from the vessel. And once you are gaining confidence about the first step in generative AI, another use case could be the next step, go to conversational search. So use, again, your own data and allow for a digital assistant, chatbot-like assistant, for you to type in questions in natural language, and then the technology to actually generate a response that is based on specific sources, documents, sources that are actually are pointed out to you exactly what those documents are, so you can verify at any point of time the validity of those documents. But here comes a question. The two use cases that I have already presented, well, they're based on actually natural language understanding and how we try to find information in our data, on documents, etc. But there are other use cases in maritime that AI and generative AI can can cover. The thing is that not everything can be covered with one LLM. Large language models are built for a purpose, and there are multiple large language models out there with specific, let's say, specifications of what they can and cannot do. So there is no one LLM that fits all. And this makes the trust issue perhaps a little bigger. And this is what 80% of the business leaders identify also as a major concern, to adopt generative AI technology. So there are, apart from explainability that more or less we already discussed, there was another question previously from the audience about the ethics and if we actually used this technology in a good manner. But there are other concerns as well about bias. Maritime especially, there's no room for racism. You have people on board from multiple nations and color. So you need to eliminate any bias of gender, racism, and everything else. So, and also you need to be able, anytime you use this technology, to understand why this response was given, and if it was used from the proper data sets and repositories that you have in your back-end systems. So all of these are concerns that we in IBM, we only have one word to respond, and this is what's on X. So we differentiate from other vendors because we don't offer LLMs. We offer a platform that you can actually use to base your AI strategy, develop your AI applications or integrate with other applications, and execute this. And it's a platform that runs everywhere. It runs on-premise, it runs on any cloud provider, it can climb at the edge, it can also be provided as an appliance, so you can have this actually offline, anywhere you want. And there are modules out there that they cover the full spectrum and end-to-end what is required in order to execute AI technology. Now, another question from the audience earlier was about, can we trust the AI for autonomous driving? I'm not going to focus on autonomous ships right now, but in general, the question is, can we trust our data? Because with no data, there's no AI. It's the data that we feed in the AI technology in order to navigate us to the future. And of course, we need to have a mechanism that we can monitor and control and govern end-to-end the life cycle of an AI model or of an AI application. And again, we're not here to replace any technology. We have open technology that can help you either use it in your own organizations, integrate with your own systems. And this is why somebody could go with IBM. So we're partnered with open source such as Hugging Face in order to have every LLM that the community actually creates and it's tested. We partner with Meta and others in order to have a full spectrum of large language models that you would like to use in one platform. We have the governance to be able to help you trust these models while you're using them, understand why they decide and give answers why they do, and everything else that we already discussed. But most importantly, this is not for retail, it's not for consumers, it's an enterprise-grade platform. This is something that also the business analysts recognize, and we are actually at the leaders of all quadrants across multiple studies and analysts. And it's also, these analysts and studies are based on the feedback they receive from our customers. And we have through the years, because AI is nothing new, it just changed from machine learning to deep learning now to generative AI and everything. And we're always through this journey as IBM in this area. So we have multiple customers across the globe and across industry that actually have benefited a lot through these years. And before I close, I want to share with you something I read yesterday, and I really found it relevant. So there was a post on the LinkedIn about RAG, LLMs, SLMs, FMs, and so on. And at the end of the day, at the end of actually those acronyms, the question is, are you scared of this? There was a response below that says that after 15 years in Maritime and Navy, I'm not afraid of abbreviations. So as long as you have a trusted partner to guide you through all this process, I don't think you should have anything to be afraid of as well. Thank you very much.